All right, hey Zach, how's it going?
All right, how about you?
It's going pretty well. For full disclosure, we've actually already watched The Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
but because we're recording it a completely different day, we both went to see it on Thursday, and so we're recording like the Friday. It actually technically released. We watched the
Right.
whatever the pre-screenings or whatever they call them. But yeah, so in order to do that, I had to watch Solo right before we started recording. So we're here to talk about Solo first and foremost,
So you watched
a Star Wars
Solo
story. After,
after,
yeah, so I did
but
it bad.
I
I did a
watched
bad thing.
it for the first time. This is the first movie I never saw before.
Oh wow,
So I
okay,
watched it for the first time like right before Rise of Skywalker. So
okay.
in anticipation for this.
So I went and saw this. I was not looking forward to this movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't care. It
Leading up
had
to it or like
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it had pretty notorious behind the scenes issues. Chris Miller and Phil Lord were the directors, were co-directing, and I guess they were playing a little fast and loose with the script. And Lawrence Kasdan, who him and his son were both co-producers on the film as well as co-writers, uh, they didn't really like that.
okay.
They came down and watched some filming, and they were not overly keen on what was going on. They got hightailed out of there, and then they brought in Ron Howard to finish the movie and do all the reshoots. And I think I remember hearing they brought in an acting coach for Alden Ehrenreich, whatever however you pronounce that guy's name, the guy who plays Han Solo.
Sure.
They brought in an
Yeah.
acting coach for him. There was all kinds of. I mean, there was just like it was like nothing but problems with behind the scenes with
Well,
this
that's
movie.
epic.
So yeah,
Fuck this movie.
yeah. So I went and saw it, and I had already known like some of the the sort of the big reveal at the end of the movie. I had already got that kind of spoiled for
Oh,
me.
that's nice.
Um, but I still laughed out loud in theaters. I
Dude,
still, I still laughed.
well, that ending was crazy. It was just double cross on double cross. It was like
Oh
the
yeah.
end of a heist movie, you know?
Well, I actually wasn't talking about that. I was talking about about
Oh,
Darth Maul
oh,
showing up.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, that was. I didn't know about all the double crossing. I
Okay.
like that stuff. That was actually like I thought that was really great. But yeah, the Darth Maul, that was the part that made me laugh. Hold on a sec. I got my cat out of the room because he's being a little. All right, all right. I know. I get it. You don't like Solo either. All right. But that's actually not true. I actually really like Solo.
Okay.
I don't
Um,
think this is a very good movie.
wait,
Um,
wait. So wait, you like
yeah,
Solo,
yeah.
but you don't think it's a good movie?
I don't think it's a very good movie. It's just super bland and predictable and safe.
Hmm.
The chemistry between Han and Kira is like almost non-existent. Um,
Is it
there's
the
there's
hottest relationship in this movie is Han and L3. That's a hot relationship.
Han and L3 or Lando and L3.
Lando and L3.
Yeah,
Yes.
even though that's just gross and creepy, and I
Yeah, I
hate
hate
L3.
that. I hate
I
I
hate
hate
L3 so much.
it.
I also hate that. Yes, I hate also how
L3
they
was so oddly sexual from the beginning. Yeah.
well well and this is the thing. I don't I can't help but just speculate. Like L3 is so over the top like feminist. Like it's like supposed to be like a feminist sort of like thing or like social justice kind of character. It's but it's like to like 15 out of 10
Hmm.
to the point where it's like I couldn't tell if they were trying to play like make a joke out of that whole thing, which it seemed weird because Kathleen Kennedy is supposed to be like super like the female force or whatever. I don't know. She's like the force is female or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. It said stuff about all that kind of thing. So it was a little weird to me. I almost feel like I don't know what they were trying to do with that character, but it
I don't
didn't work.
know. Like,
It didn't work at all. It wasn't. She's not funny. She's not cute or inspiring, and I felt absolutely nothing when she died.
well, it was uncomfortable. Yeah, I was uncomfortable every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and weirdly like sexual, and it
Yeah,
was like
and like
this.
Lando was a bit sexual about it too. Like, what happened with these two? What are they doing when everyone's not around?
Well, you know, Billy D. Williams actually said something about like not really liking that whole thing
Yeah.
in the movie. He's just like, I don't really like that
Like, what's going on
interpretation of
with that
Lando.
L3? Yeah.
Um, but I will say this:
L337.
Donald Glover, I thought he was great. I mean, basically all he had to do was
He's
just
the best in this movie, I think. The
yeah.
best
Well,
actor.
I really like Woody Harrelson in this movie a lot too.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, he's just an amazing actor in
I
general.
forgot I
And
forgot he was in this until I saw him pop up. I was like, oh yeah, that was a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Like, what are your general thoughts about this movie?
So I don't like this movie.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Um,
I don't have any personal stake in this film at all. You know, I'm not gonna try to
yeah,
convince you.
I just it didn't do anything for me, and it felt like it did do some easy stuff. Like even in the beginning, even I found even the intro to be kind of annoying because it's like, yeah, we get it's not the traditional Star Wars, so like for these spin-offs they don't do the scroll, but it's like they put the text on and it says like some stuff about like this guy's on the mean streets and he yearns to fly. Fly. They just had this really self-indulgent like, this is Han Solo,
Yeah,
Han Solo descriptors, and I'm like,
I I I kind of like it, but it is a little. I agree, it is a little too self-indulgent.
it's
It's
like
very like.
this guy's walked the mean streets and he has it rough, but he yearns to fly high in the sky and get a buddy. Yeah.
But that's actually my biggest problem with the movie is that Han Solo doesn't feel like he's until like maybe the end. He feels like way too like optimistic and chipper about everything. I thought we would get a Han like that in the beginning, and then after he's had a couple knocks, he'd still like have maybe some sort of like a semi-positive outlook, but he's a lot more jaded now and a little bit more like the character we see in A New Hope, where he's only really out for himself. And I mean, I guess he's kind of like that, but he's still also holding on to the whole Kira relationship at this point too. So I don't know.
Also, it's so weird. Like, this is a prequel. This is like a prequel for Han Solo, but it's like
Yeah,
the age difference is not. There's not like a big age difference from the original Han.
no,
So it's like a recast Han Solo prequel. It's like
it
you
is weird.
you can't watch Solo and then watch A New Hope, and it's just like, whoa, it's a new person.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, and I think that's kind of what they were going for. Like this to me works better as a standalone story than Rogue One, personally. I think just because I mean I don't. Again, I don't have any stake in this movie. This movie really could never have been made, and I wouldn't be feeling like sad at all.
Hmm.
I have to admit that I have more fun with this movie than I really expect. The first third of the film is pretty rough. I don't know if you had this problem, but I had this problem again. Why? It's like you can't see what's
Yes.
going on
Yes.
at all.
I was
It's
gonna.
terrible.
That was like the first thing I wanted to say, and I forgot about it. I was like,
Movie,
why?
it's
Why is
so
the movie so
muddy.
dark?
It's so dark, so muddy. Oh, it was worse in theaters, if you could believe it. You'd think a projection onto a white screen would be bright, but no, it was awful. I remember
It's
remember
like,
being just like I can't figure out what I'm
it was
looking
like
at.
it
half
was
the
like the
time.
first 30 minutes, especially. I was
Yeah,
like, and then as soon as I noticed it was just dark all the time, I was like, I'm gonna look for some bright scenes, and then just it's not coming. It's not coming.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
all dark. Even when they're out and like in the planets, like I don't remember what the name of where they were was, but
But
like
even then, when they get on
they're not
like
even
the
colorful when they get out of this miserable original place that he grew up in.
but even then when they're on Paul Bettany's ship, I don't remember the character's name off the top of my head. I
Yeah,
just watched it and it's stupid. I should know. I was thinking about it the whole time because he's got a cool name. But when they're on his ship too, it's just so dark the whole time.
yeah.
You know, it's like it's
And
like
I wasn't really into that scene at all. Like I found myself uninterested in that whole action scene. Honestly, it was just like,
oh
all right.
oh you were talking about the final action scene.
Oh no, like the on the train and everything.
Oh yeah, well also that makes like no sense. Like why are they transporting stuff by train and when they've got things that can fly?
I don't know how this world works.
I so
Oh,
to
but
me I was actually making up a story, like a Star Wars version of like explaining why it would be that way. Because it's like, okay, well maybe this whole planet, the whole system, is automated, so it's all run by droids. So in order to effectively, it looked like it was like a snowy planet, so maybe there are pop-up storms and things like that. So to make sure that the stuff is delivered safely, they've charted a route, like on a monorail to just automatically continue shipping stuff. I don't know. It still doesn't really make any sense. But
I mean,
um,
so like I just found a lot of it like very cheesy, like even from the beginning when it's like
oh yeah,
the perfect timing to split up Han and Kira as they're like going through the gate. It's like, boom! Oh no! Cut off right there, and then the door keeps them apart.
well the relationship also doesn't work at all.
Because yeah, you you see a little bit of it, and then
But
like
the thing is just
fast
like
forward.
it needed to take time on the planet. That's sort of the problem that this movie's missing. Is like if we had gotten a little bit more of their relationship established, like if we'd stayed a little longer on Corellia, like maybe see their day-to-day life, because they're like, oh, we need to escape, we need to get out of here, but it's like we don't really know exactly why it was so horrible, other than just that they've told us that it is. It would have been nice to kind of like get their day-to-day a little bit more, so we could get kind of what the intro was setting up, where it's like a man who wants to fight but yearns to see the stars or something, or has to fight.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of what I was more looking for, and then that just doesn't happen really. And then by the time that they reconnect, she's already gone, and the two actors have no chemistry, and it's,
Well, I feel like
um,
they don't do a very good job of time progression either, because it's like from that scene, there's like a considerable amount of time I guess that passed, but
years.
I really didn't notice at all. I was like, it felt like it could have just been 2 months later, but
Yeah,
then
it could have been.
but
Yeah,
then it's like Kira comes over like when they're in the party, and he finds Kira there. I'm like, oh wow, that she developed fast. I was like, oh yeah, it's a time skip, huh? Because she's like a
yeah.
completely
It's almost
different,
yeah. She's a
completely
completely different
different
character.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah. She's gone by at that point in a manner of speaking. Like he has like no connection with her anymore at
yeah.
all. I mean, she's
Even
even
though
like
she acts like it an awful lot. Like
she kind of does, and but she also is rebuffing him all the time too. She's like, yeah, I'll like play along with it, but she's kind of only out for herself the whole time.
so, how do you feel about the whole Han Solo thing? Is this a known was this a known thing in the Star Wars universe that that's how he got his name?
No, that was stupid.
Yeah, okay. I was
No,
like,
that was just
was that
stupid
made just for this
nonsense.
movie?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
terrible. I
I
that's yeah
was
that's so stupid.
like, I don't like the idea of someone's name being formed from just an offhand cheeky comment from
Yeah,
the guy, the
from an
ticket.
imperial officer.
Yeah.
Oh, but right before that scene though, or right before that, is like one of my it's silly, but it's like one of my favorite parts is the imperial propaganda movie. Join the empire. Fight for something greater.
Hmm.
In the background, you can hear the imperial march in a major key. So they're like, "Duh!" Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that always gets me. That made me laugh in theaters. Made me laugh today too. So
And then you had Chewbacca was this cage monster.
yeah, I like their dynamics. Fun. It's fun. It's not really. Again, it's not really anything we needed to see because it doesn't really tell us anything that we didn't already know. Really. Oh, okay. They met in a planet and they escaped out of prison, and then they were best friends forever, basically.
Yeah. Um, the Rio, the whole Rio thing, who was like a monkey dude who was
Hmm.
in the suit. I was like, why is this guy just always got a helmet on and talking? And then the epic reveal when he's like, he just
Yeah.
lifts up out of it. He's all right.
Yeah,
He's
it's
all
all
right.
right.
But I wrote down, yeah, Rio dies, much emotion. I'm like, there was not no, I didn't feel anything when Rio died, and then Val died immediately after. I'm like, who's that? I don't care.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't know if we're really supposed to feel much about them, really. I mean, maybe we're kind of supposed to,
I
but
don't know.
It's more supposed to be. I think at that point it's more just kind of us supposed to be understanding the stakes that it's a dangerous game Han Solo is getting himself into.
Well, yeah, they had a little snippet. I was hoping for a full-on performance, but they, like, I mean, they had it in the background a little bit. But at that party where they had like the
Oh yeah,
the weird looking,
the weird song. Oh, I love that.
What is that?
That was
that thing in like a tank or something?
I don't know. That was super Star Wars though. I love that. That was great. It was so weird. I mean, we saw that also. You saw. I don't remember if it was a live performers in Maz Kanata's castle in The Force Awakens, but that song in the background you hear there though was actually co-written by J.J. Abrams and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Nice.
So and yeah.
So then you're introduced to you're introduced. Well, I'm skipping over like Dryden. When they introduced Dryden and Kira is Dryden's top lieutenant. Epic twist, and then Lando is introduced like through he's playing
epic twist.
Lando's playing Sabacc, but he's cheating. He's a cheater, and that's gonna you're gonna see that come full circle in the end.
I like that.
That's
cool to do there. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the ending for sure when he came back to there. Yeah, but it is interesting with the idea of Sabacc, how it's like you have no idea how this game works, but he's like, you don't have a third flarb. If only you had a third flarb.
I feel like at some point there were rules like in the EU stuff before Disney decanonized it. I'm pretty sure Sabacc they have rules for it somewhere. Maybe you can buy a card game. I was actually thinking about that. When the movie was going on. I was like, I'd really actually like to know how to play this because
if you just had this green slurve or whatever it was, green space name.
Because it reminds me of I mean, Pazak is very different. That's another card game from way in the past. Because that was from Knights of the Old Republic games. Okay. You could play Sabacc or not Sabacc, Pazak. Yeah, okay. They're very similar names. Anyway,
let's see. We had Beckett catching Kira and Han. Kira and Han were making out in the
coat room.
Yeah,
the cape room actually.
That was hot.
Yeah, epic moment. Also, Emilia Clarke is she's a beautiful woman.
She's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, L3. Yeah, L3 when she had the weird. It was like immediately after Kira made out with Han. She goes over, and L3 like was saying, "Oh, that boy's in love with you" or something, and she was like completely in denial of it, even though they had just made out. And like, he gave every indication. He was like, "I want to talk about everything that's happened. I can't wait to tell you everything that's happened in my life." But I thought that was weird, and then and the weird where she was like, "Yeah, Lando has the hots for me," or whatever she said.
Yeah, but it's just like, but it's not gonna work out or something like that.
Which might actually be true, considering how intimate Lando was with L3, like dying in his arms. Like,
and then it was like, but then she was like, "How does that work?" Oh, it works. I was just like, stop saying things like that.
And then like earlier or later, she said something about, or like, you need to do that thing to me, or
yeah,
the thing to me you do.
Do that thing later.
Okay, thank you.
Because her circuits are.
Yeah.
It's weird. She's weird, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Okay, so then you have betrayal. I have like the word betrayal like 3 times after this. So
yeah,
betrayal. You like the whole betrayals on betrayals?
Yeah, the reason that I like it is because this was like more of a heist movie than the previous 2 movies have done with heists. So Rogue One was supposed to be a heist movie. There's not really much of a heist that happens. They just kind of show up, and then the war starts basically. There's not really that much of a heist that goes on there. And then in The Last Jedi, they sneak aboard the ship, and they're like all disguised as Imperial officers and everything. And then they get there, and then they get caught immediately, pretty much. So it's like this to me, it's not really like heist, but it's the idea of like a movie that's like a heist movie or a gangster kind of movie, where you're going to have people double crossing you, and then there's secret plans that you've hidden from someone, like schemes and things. Like that's fun. That stuff is super fun, and I like that this film, the whole finale to me works super well.
Okay. I thought it was
Like
a bit over. I thought it was a bit much. I thought it was like
yeah.
a little cheesy because I mean, especially it was top of mind because there was a recent Rick and Morty episode all about this, about heists. It was like a parody of heist movies where it was like, no, I already had this plan in place against that plan, and then it was back and back, more further back, but it was like double cross on double cross, and then this one it was like, first it's like Beckett is double crossing Han. But then there's like a double cross. I was like, Kira double crossed Han? No, actually, it's actually a fake double cross. It's a double cross of Dryden. But no, she. Then you see Darth Maul Kira, so it was a double cross. and then it's like, okay, everyone kind of betrayed everyone, and then like, okay, I guess
no honor among thieves. No honor among thieves, really.
I guess There was no happy ever after with Han and Kira. I mean, we knew that wasn't going to happen because of how Star Wars is, but
it
was like I was wondering after like the initial double cross. I was like, so how does it seems like Kira's not going to die here? So what's going on? How is it? How are they not together in the new Star Wars movies? But then of course,
no, she's going to go serve. She's going to go serve Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that also made me laugh a lot is, do you know how every hologram in Star Wars has always been blue forever? Apparently, Dryden was wealthy enough to invest in the two-tone hologram because we get to see Darth Maul's red face and red lightsaber. Everything else is blue. And it's just like, well, we need to make his face red because no one will know who it is.
Darth Maul, yeah. That's true.
So that, yeah.
And then after that was just Han going back to Lando, getting his justice for cheating on him.
I do like the last scene with Han and Beckett though. Is good too.
Oh yeah.
Where he
the little standoff.
The standoff, and then Han shoots first.
He did.
That's where he learned it. That's where
he learned to shoot first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you. I hate when guys say that after they betray you, where they're like, I told you not to trust anyone. You should have listened to me. It's like, wow, cool. All right. So I should have trusted your advice and not trusting anyone, and therefore not trust you. Oh, and then I did find a little over the top how it literally ends with Han and Chewie doing that. Forward. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And we're going to Tatooine, where I guess we're going to spend the next 6 or 7 years, or however many years this is before A New Hope.
Yeah. All right. So
that's about it.
That's it.
There's not really a ton to discuss about this movie, to be honest. We kind of just went through the whole plot.
It's a little wacky. It doesn't work for me because all the deaths didn't matter to me, even though they were kind of made to seem dramatic. Like I feel like the L3 they really wanted that to be effective.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. The Woody Harrelson death to me is the most effective. I think it works the best for me just because of the relationship that he had with Han throughout the movie. So.
I don't care that he died.
I don't care.
I found it weird that Han was like holding him endearingly. Isn't that weird that he would hold him endearingly after he just said, "No, I would have shot you." It's not like, "Oh, what have I done?" I would have.
No, it wasn't an "Oh, what have I done?" It was just kind of like being there for him. I mean, he was like,
"Why do you care about him at this point?" He literally he.
I mean, he was still like a comrade. You know, it's like he's shown him some respect in death. He just killed him.
F that guy, dude. That guy, you trust no one. I would have shot you, so he made the right decision.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. He was holding him. He was holding him just like Lando was holding L3.
No, maybe not that intimately.
I still don't understand why he's holding L3 so intimately. It's like,
you really love that droid, I guess.
You know, you could just put her, what was it? Put her into the ship.
Her core or whatever into the navigation system.
I was like, I could, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could.
Even
if I was a loser.
I already got done mourning her though, so it's like she's gone.
Also, the Kessel Run was like, I didn't really need to know that, but I mean, that was what, of course, that was going to be in this movie because it's like that's like the big thing with Han Solo. So yeah, but all right.
Yeah,
So
it
what
was
would you
dramatic.
score this? What would you score this movie?
This is tough.
I know
Tough
what my
for me.
score is.
Oh, go for it.
I'll give it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I think it's a well enough made movie. It's not very good, but it's fun enough. If that makes any sense, I find it pretty entertaining. I mean, it's kind of just predictable dribble, except for like the double cross stuff is a little more interesting. It's not as predictable, but it's like, I mean, it's a heist movie, so of course that's gonna happen. But um, the characters are likable. The acting's not always the best, but like Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke are great, and I think Paul Bettany's great too. And
Han's a little weird.
yeah, yeah.
So no, I found it interesting because you seem to be more fond of it, but I was going to go for 6 too. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Even though
I mean, yeah, I
seem to be
am fond of it, but it's
yeah.
not a very good movie.
Well,
I mean, I gotta call a spade here,
I mean, it's pretty rough. I mean, I'm putting. Well, it's not for you, I guess. I forgot your score was much lower, but I'm putting this below Phantom Menace. 6. I give it a 6.5. So 6 out of 10. Tarqaron score. That's beautiful. All right. A true gem. All right. Check out our next video. A day or two, however long it takes. But Rise of Skywalker. It's time.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about it at all between each other yet, so this is gonna be really interesting.
Yes.
So, great.
See. Oh yes. See.
May the Force be with you.
Oh.
I should have been ending all these videos like that. I don't know why I just thought of that.
May the
now.
Force be with us.
Yeah.
Master. Yes.